everybody, and welcome to another brand new live episode of the John and Wendy Show here on this Friday afternoon. I am one half of that equation, the outlaw John Rocha, joined by the better half of that equation, Wendy Lizani. How are you, Wendy?
Hello, I am so good. A little busy. Well, we're getting prepped over here for Star Wars Celebration. I have things planned, but I still don't know how to execute certain things. So I'm trying not to. I'm pushing down that anxiety. Just
you need to execute Order 66, Wendy. Get rid of all that stuff you don't need.
Yeah, but otherwise good. My dog is doing better. You can see her in the corner right there. Yes. She had a major. I can't point. She had a major surgery. We found 3 tumors on her. Oof. Almost 4, but the 4th one was so small and soft, and it was right next to the tail. The vet said, we're not going to remove that one because that would have been 4 incisions. He's like, let's wait and see. So he removed 3, and they were tested. Well, at least one of them was tested, and they're benign. So there's no cancer, which is the best. Good. He's just, it's a good thing. He's just concerned that she seems to be very reactionary to like inflammatory stuff. Yeah. Like her body's just like wants to grow. So we're trying to switch up some of the things, starting with the kind of water she drinks. Mm-hmm. And I know this sounds really bougie because I don't even do this for myself. Like I drink water out of the tap. Yeah. I don't care. Oh, really? Okay. I mean, Brita filter, but we tested it and it honestly doesn't really filter out that much.
No, it doesn't. That's why we got ourselves one of those standalone water dispensers in the kitchen because we did the testing on the water as well. And it's what Brita filters out. You're still dealing with a lot of extra. So they filter out some, but certainly not as much as you need to filter out so that you can have some really cool and healthy drinking water for your life. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've switched her to the bottled water, which we've tested, which it has, it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Yeah. So she's starting to drink that to see if that, good. If that's the easy fix for inflammations, great. It doesn't really cost me that much more to get, it's like store brand bottled water. It's not some bougie, whatever people are drinking. Evian.
Some bougie bee. I hear what you said. Some Fiji water and shit. For 32 ounces.
She will not be drinking Dasani though. She will not be drinking Dasani.
Well, there's salt in Dasani. You don't want to drink.
It's bad for you.
Yeah, it's also bad for you. Yeah. But there is salt in there. There is salt in there. That's when I discovered that I was like, what?
So it makes you buy more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like the pizza crust that have sugar in them. Papa John's put sugar in their pizza crust, which is what makes you want to eat more than you should, then order more than you should, for God's sakes. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on here today on the John and Wendy Show. That's just a sample of what we're going to be talking about. We're going to get into so much going on in the world of entertainment. She-Hulk news, Daredevil news, certainly the news. The Mexican pizza is back at Taco Bell. I am halfway through mine, currently sitting on the desk here. I shot a video of it sampling it. Wendy has been to her first K-pop concert. We're going to hear from Wendy about that as well. And we're going to get into so many of the reviews and recommendations going on. That's just a sample of stuff we got going on. Just a reminder that your bits and your cheers are so appreciated. So are your Streamlabs that Wendy is pointing to. The address is right there. I'll also be putting it in the chat periodically as the show goes along, but it's a Friday. I had to struggle to get to this Friday, Wendy, and I'm very happy this Friday is here. Very relaxed day, no pressure. I was trying to put up 7 videos and I just stopped.
Oh my gosh.
Let's just relax and have a decent afternoon and enjoy this show. We'll have some fun. But Wendy, we've got some breaking news that I don't think we didn't even discuss talking about this.
We did not. Today was not a thoroughly pre-production show, but that's okay. It's Friday. It's the Friday that I guess one extra Friday away from Celebration. So I think our minds are a little, going crazy. What are the breaking news?
Kate McKinnon, Aidy Bryant, and Kyle Mooney, along with Pete Davidson, are expected to exit Saturday Night Live. This just came over the wire from Variety about 5 minutes ago. Kate McKinnon, Aidy Bryant, Kyle Mooney, and Pete Davidson are expected to leave Saturday Night Live. So that's a shame.
Whoa.
Because I love, obviously, Kate McKinnon, but it makes sense for Kate McKinnon. She's kind of been doing movies, doing other guest spots on TV shows. Aidy Bryant had Shrill, I think is what it was called. That was on Hulu for a couple of seasons. Kyle Mooney's kind of been doing his own thing. Pete Davidson also kind of branching out, did King of Staten Island. He's dating Kim Kardashian now, so maybe she wants him to be on the West Coast. So there's a lot happening here. What do you think when you hear about these 4 somewhat veteran to veteran cast members leaving SNL?
It makes me feel a little bit like, so when I started understanding what SNL, went old enough to stay up and watch some of them,
Right.
some of the main players were like Will Ferrell, Sherry O'Terry.
Yes, Sherry O'Terry. She was great.
Yeah. Molly Shannon.
Yes.
And the likes, and Tina Fey, I believe, was already maybe not. I don't know. So it's like, it kind of gives me the feeling of when those cast members left.
Yeah.
And I felt a little empty and a little bit like, oh no. Yeah. Is it still gonna, because it's a comfort show. Right. It's a show that you watch, you're in your PJ Saturday night, you're on your couch.
Yeah.
And you're just relaxed. You're just tuned in for, some laughs, a good time, good musical acts, good host.
Yeah.
And sometimes when things like this, you just wonder if it will change the content of what it is and some of the characters that these people play, especially with like Pete Davidson.
Yeah. Right.
So it's going to be interesting. Like, I'm happy for them that they feel like they are able to, move forward to the next part of their career, which is always great. Plus, this will open the door for, other talents to get into Saturday Night Live. So it's not a bad thing. I think it's just for us who are looking for that comfort in television shows.
Yeah.
You kind of wish they stay forever, but naturally they're human and they're not going to stay in one place. You got to continue to get better.
Yeah, and you got to move on. You got to eventually move on. And I want to give proper credit. McKinnon, Bryant, and Mooney were already reported by Deadline to be leaving. Pete Davidson is the breaking news here for Variety, that they're reporting that he is also joining them as leaving the cast. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, like I said, Kate McKinnon, she's been branching out already. Pete Davidson's been branching out already. Maybe 80 wants to do. And remember, 80 was kind of in the background for a couple of seasons and only has been recently over the last 2 or 3 seasons that she's really started to appear in more sketches. And so maybe more casting directors are seeing what she can do. She wants to kind of step away from SNL. There's a bunch of newer, younger talent that's come through over the last few years. Certainly Sarah Sherman and her Weekend Update stuff has been something to pay attention to. It's really funny. You've got, Michael Che and Jost, Colin Jost there kind of anchoring the update, but also anchoring as veterans of the cast. So no big deal there. They're not losing too much. I think Kenan Thompson is going to stick around because his show got canceled.
Oh, so right.
Keenan's going to stick around as well. And Cecily Strong seems like she's still going to be kicking it. And Cecily, there were rumors that she was going to leave last season and she stayed. So
I like her a lot.
I do too. I love her madly. And so moving Kate McKinnon out of that equation, now maybe Cecily is playing more of the older characters and what have you and having some fun with those because she's been great. Her Judge Pirro, her crazy Marsha Blackburn, I think she played as well. Like her crazy approaches to political caricatures are fantastic. So see her be a part of it. So there's a bunch of new talent that's come through. The guy playing Trump and Biden at the same time, he's a new cast member. So I think this makes a lot of sense, and you clear the space for them to have a little more time to spread their wings, and you go off and do bigger projects, which I imagine, Wendy, will pay more than what they're getting on SNL, I would imagine.
Yeah, so hopefully we will start seeing them in various TV shows or movies or maybe independent projects. Who knows? Like you said with Pete Davidson, like, he had a whole movie.
Yeah,
absolutely. That was really, really good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really surprising.
So.
Tony Collette has joined us, Wendy, again this week. Honestly,
Tony, we love you.
Yeah, we do love you, Tony. We're loving you on the staircase right now, Tony. You and Colin Firth, great chemistry. I watched that 13-part documentary with my girlfriend over 3 days. We just jumped into the HBO Max show, so we're loving you on the show there, Tony. And certainly you can take a fall down the stairs like nobody's business. Great to see Brendan Mara here, MK Songbird, Galactus, Zach Mendoza, BC Knight, Steve Calderon. And if I haven't said your name, I apologize. Sound Alerts is here. No, that's my thing. And Smithy, good to see you, Smithy. Good stuff. All right, Wendy, where shall we move on to next? Keep going here.
Let's keep going down the list of topics that we have. And first one, we have a first look at the concept art for the next feature from Pixar, and it's called Elemental. And basically, it's going to follow specifically these two characters named Wade and Ember, and they're, if the title didn't give it away, elements. Wade is a water element. and Ember is fire, and they live in this community of living elements and how they get along. Because if you want to think about water and fire, you kind of think about how they may or may not get along.
Yeah. Right.
And then there's also land and air and how that works. So I'm very, very, I mean, the concept art looks almost reminds me of Inside Out a little bit, like the emotions.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A lot of people were saying that, Wendy, that they felt that the concept art kind of looked and alluded to In and Out and some other previous projects that have come through on the animated side of things. I'm trying to bring it up here so people can look at it as we talk about it. But I liked the look of it. I mean, I thought it was an interesting look for sure, and where they were going with it. So I had no problems with it overall. Here, let me share the screen. I think that's the better way, because sometimes these WebP graphics annoy the crap out of me, and you can't.
Oh yeah, you can't insert them in. It's weird.
Right. It's so weird. So there you go. That's the look there from
Look how cute.
Elemental, and look at that. It's interesting. And you know, she's fire, and she looks like she's like, what are you doing? And this guy's like, look, it's great. Everything's cool. So
everything's cool. Water. Flow like the water.
Flow like the water, yo. So very interesting stuff. Wendy, what do you think? Do you like the look of it as an approach here? Do you enjoy did you like the synopsis for this?
I do.
Got the synopsis on it as well.
I think the the photo of them cracks me up, because I can just see. So we're going to talk about Ember here. She reminds me of a little bit of, and maybe that's where I made the connection between this and Inside Out. But the emotion anger, you know, whenever he get mad, the flames will flare up, and because she is Ember, she's fire. I feel like she's gonna have, you know, a bit of a fiery personality, and you know, when she really gets worked up or something like that, maybe her flame grows a little bit bigger, and it, you know, depending on what kind of relationship she has with Wade, he can maybe, you know, add a little water and to kind of help calm her down, and vice versa. So that'll be interesting to see how they interact. But I read in the article here, and this is from, I just gotta scroll down, the idea of the story.
Yeah.
I think it's actually on Variety.
You mean the synopsis? Yeah, the synopsis is down here. It says the film journeys alongside an unlikely pair, Ember and Wade, in a city where fire, water, land, and air residents live together. The fiery young woman and the go with the flow guy are about to discover something elemental. How much they actually have in common. Yeah, what do you think about that synopsis? Do you like that synopsis?
I think it's going to be interesting, because I think what's going to make it really fun to watch is because they're elements. So how much they're going to pull from the personalities and the kind of the beauty of how these elements move. Yeah. Water, air, you know, land, fire. But if you scroll back down just a little bit below where you were before, there is a bit of a quote from the director. There it is. There you go. From Peter Song, who says, my parents emigrated from Korea in the early 1970s and built a bustling grocery store in the Bronx. We were amongst many families who ventured to a new land with hopes and dreams, all of us mixing into one big salad bowl of cultures, languages, and beautiful little neighborhoods. And that's what led me to Elemental. So, and he says some elements don't mix with each other. Some do mix with each other. Some don't. So what if these elements were alive? I think it's going to be a huge, like, obviously there will be some conflicts, I think.
Fire, water, land, and air.
I don't think it's one of those like, you can't sit with us, but and that's why I'm so curious about it. Like, how are they going to make this interesting? Because it's not the first time we've seen animation adapt elements.
Yes.
All right. I mean, you take a look at Airbender, Last Airbender. There's elements there.
Yeah, a lot of people felt it was a little bit of borrowing of Inside Out, borrowing of Last Airbender to approach this. But, you know, it is what it is. And Peter Song, I am on the fence, because Peter directed The Good Dinosaur, which is arguably the worst Pixar movie. I did like Partly Cloudy. So that's one I did enjoy, but I did not like The Good Dinosaur. So I hope he has I hope it goes better for him this time around with this. And clearly Pixar believes in him if they're giving him another feature film to direct here. And I think he makes it, and the statement you read here makes a lot of sense too, because I mean, you look at it, fire, water, land, and air, right? 4 elements that are very strong. Certainly we're seeing nowadays, Wendy, our world, and Pixar certainly does make commentary about our world, where people are very tribalistic in their approach to sports, politics, entertainment. I mean, I'm seeing people getting upset because today because I think Time, one of the columnists for Time, I think wrote a column saying, we can forgive Hayden Christensen, and all these prequel lovers are descending and saying he has nothing to apologize or be forgiven for. He was great in the prequels, and
he really doesn't have anything to apologize for. He was an actor doing an actor's job.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're going back and forth. I don't think he was good in the prequels. Other people think he was, but this idea, but you're seeing the battles happen. It's very tribalistic. People tell him, take this L, take this tweet.
Oh my gosh.
You can't have anything. You can't have a different opinion. People come and descend on you. And certainly we're seeing that now in the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp situation with that trial. People having some strong opinions, choosing one side over the other. So maybe this is a film in the vein of Pixar that'll be about showing you, hey, you can have a strong opinion, but also create space to find compromise, connection, because that's important, because without the other, we can't survive. Maybe that's in the end what the lesson will be through this whole thing. But I like it. As you said, Wendy, I dig the approach and the overall look of it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll see. And I know people are comparing it to, based on appearance and maybe light concept, it to Inside Out. I think it's going to be nothing like it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be nothing like it.
Okay. All right.
Because let's not forget, since Turning Red's come out, they've made some internal changes.
Yes, you're right.
To their team. Yes. So Domi Shi is kind of in more of a leadership role than just, director.
Right.
And I think her and Jennifer, I can't remember her last name, who also was promoted. I think they're headed somewhere that's going to be
better.
Going to be good.
Yeah,
Pixar's always been good to me. I've been a fan of Pixar for a long time, but I think this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I agree with you, Wendy. I mean, John Lasseter stepping down, making the way for Pete Docter, and a couple other people step in there and kind of fill the void of leadership there. It was a transition time. So now they've found a team that they believe in that can take the studio to the next level and go back to creating those kind of classic films. Even though Soul was great, Turning Red is great, they were able to do that in transition. So what can they make now that they've kind of solidified things and they've got a vision going forward? That's going to be fun to see for sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Where should we have to next? I don't see any bits or cheers or Streamlabs. So, ladies and gentlemen, send them in as we go along. We'd love to have them and read them on the air. Where are we at here with?
Before we dive into the next topic, thank you so much to MK Songbird for saying Jennifer Lee is the other person that I was at Pixar I was trying to think of.
Right.
I couldn't think of the last name. There it is. Thank you, MK. All right, next topic. Let's talk Daredevil, baby. Yeah. So the series, we kind of knew this was coming, because he appeared in No Way Home, and people started immediately going, all right, this is it. This is, a way to loop him right back into and properly have him as a part of the MCU in a sense. So a Disney Plus series is in the works for Daredevil. We have Matt Corman and Chris Ord set to write. How excited are you? Did you enjoy the Daredevil seasons when it was on Netflix? And are you looking forward to coming back on Disney Plus?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I love the seasons. I did feel they were a bit too long at times, like a couple episodes too long. But overall, I enjoyed it. And I thought Charlie Cox did an excellent job as Daredevil. Really enjoyed everybody involved with the show and all the characters that they played. And as a fan of that period of Daredevil comics that they're profiling in the series, which I still own back there somewhere, I think they did an excellent job of adapting it to fit what the mentality and the tastes were during that time that it was on Netflix. And certainly the fight sequences, I mean, everyone talks about that fight sequence in the hallway, in the hotel, in the building, rather, the apartment building. That's great stuff. Elektra being introduced was great. His back and forth with John Bernthal as the Punisher was fun. But now we move to the Disney Plus situation, Wendy, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I mean, this is a PG-13 company. This is not an R company. So a lot of those Netflix shows, you would argue, are R-rated, especially Punisher, for the love of God. It's an R-rated approach, and that's why Disney turned on that mature or had that mature thing installed so you could set it so that those shows wouldn't come up for your children who were too young to look at them. So do you think, and a lot of people have been saying they've been afraid now that, okay, great, this is happening, but are we going to get the Disney PG-13 version, or are we going to get the version that's skewed a little closer to Netflix? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I would prefer if they kept the same tone as Netflix. I think that's what the fans are also going to be looking for, not just their favorite actors and their favorite characters coming back, but if they decide to tone it down a little bit, like, make it a little bit more, do I dare say family friendly? I don't really think that's the term I want to use, but let's say they, make it less gruesome as Netflix. I think the fans are going to be talking about it a lot on social media. I don't think that's what they're going to want. So, and I think that is one of the reasons why they specifically came out and said with Moon Knight, they weren't going to be pulling punches. And that one, out of, all the, I think that and Falcon the Winter Soldier were a bit more on the more adult, mature side. And I think because they have introduced that, mature content, parental control thing, I think that will allow Disney to move forward with the same tone from Netflix.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping for. Because I'd love to see that, especially if they bring back Daredevil. Naturally, the fans are going to want Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. And the Punisher. So
an Asian Iron Fist as well.
Are they doing that?
Well, I mean, the girl,
comics,
the character at the end of the first season of Iron Fist, it looked like she was going to take over as being another Iron Fist. So so maybe they bring her back to play Iron Fist.
Colleen.
Yeah, so it would be
Jessica
very
Henwick,
interesting.
let's go. Sure. Yes. She was my favorite. She was my favorite part of the show. Sorry, Iron Fist. Sorry, Iron Fist. So if they set the tone and they say let's just say if they go a little bit lighter with Daredevil, I feel like that would I don't know, it wouldn't be the same. I just can't see them doing Punisher that way.
Oh no,
I can't see it. That show is so gruesome.
Oh, it's brutal, especially with that second to last episode. The battle and there was just blood all over the floor, man. So I would be very surprised if they bring Punisher back and essentially kind of defang him. I would be kind of upset about that. So
I don't think anybody would want that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I agree with you, Wendy. And I think Deadpool is where they can go R because there's tongue in cheek to it. If they go R with the level they can go R with, like Daredevil and Punisher, I think there's a danger there that they don't necessarily want to walk into. And we'll see. I mean, we've still got Werewolf by Night. Echo is being shot right now. The Moon Knight just finished, as you mentioned, Wendy. There's already ground level New York heroes that are happening. So I don't know if everyone's going to come back from the Netflix Marvel side of things. I don't know if you're going to get a Jessica Jones or a Luke Cage or any of that, because Mike Coulter was great. Jessica Ritter is great, but do they have time in their schedule? Is this something they really want to commit to? Is this the right thing? So I think they're going to see how this goes and see what the reception is. And the two showrunners are from Covert Affairs, the Piper Perabo show that was on USA for a while. So we shall see. We will see.
And speaking of what you just said, we're not sure where they're coming back because nothing's confirmed via Disney, via Marvel, via anybody. But MK Songbird says in the chat, Michael Coulter and Kristen Ritter posting, I'm guessing on their social, that photo together with the caption, "Big Tease."
Ooh.
God, they know what they're doing, man. The fans are looking at these photos and they're like, "Oh my gosh, double tap for the likes."
Yeah. Double tap for the likes. Do it.
I would love to see them again.
Yeah, I would too. And we'll see if they put it together or not.
I love them.
There's a lot of negotiations. There's a lot of moving pieces. Jeff and I talked about this on Hot Mic yesterday. That's still that's still private right now. Sorry, y'all. It's going to get up at some point. But I don't put hashtag Amber Heard if you're not going to talk about Amber Heard, and leave it up there, ladies and gentlemen. People will get upset right now.
Did you mean to talk about her?
Well, yeah, we had put it on the
rundown.
We ran out of time.
Oh,
and I forgot to. I removed her off the thumbnail, removed her off the title. I forgot to remove her off the hashtag, and that was on me because people complained that it was false advertising, and they took it. So anyway, but there's so many characters coming for the Marvel Universe, Wendy. It seems like a lot. Do you think we're over? If we start to bring in that universe, are we oversaturating the market? I mean, Fantastic Four is in the vicinity soon. X-Men at some point down the road is coming. So it's are we asking too much or is Marvel asking too much of the audience?
No. We are the ones for years that's been like, give us more. Why don't you give us more?
That's true.
We're the ones. We're the fans that's unsatiable.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good point.
Or insatiable. So I got so excited I can't even made up my own word.
Either way, you can't be sated, is what you're saying.
So, and it's not like, yes, I think we're kind of an age of like binge watch. That's the way we consume content. Yeah. But at the same time, by Disney putting it up doesn't mean you have to drop everything and watch it at once.
Right. That's a good point.
You can watch it at your own schedule.
Yeah.
However you like.
Unless you're reviewing it, then we don't get to watch
it. Then you better RIP your sleep schedule and just watch it all.
It's true. The actions. Okay, there we go. Shout out to Brendan Marr, who resubscribed. Thank you, Brendan. He resubscribed for 8 months. Tier 1. Thank you so much. And Yorick_Hunt159 just followed. And Fred sent in a Streamlabs, says, hey, John and Wendy. I just want to spread the love. I always enjoy the breakdown you guys do. Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Very good of you. All right, Wendy, where shall we move to next? Or do you want to take this
one? You have to take this one because I can't watch, but I had a whole conversation with Dustin this morning before he left for work.
Oh, okay.
Because on Netflix, we all know that Stranger Things season 4 is coming back. Bigger, better, longer.
Wow.
Apparently that the finale is like super long from some of the things that I read.
The finale is 2.5 hours long.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's essentially a movie. It's a long movie at that,
So see, we were gonna do reactions to the show.
What?
I don't know now if what kind of corner did I just back the movie couple into?
8 hours of editing for us.
I can't do a 2.5. Oh my god, I don't know. I have to talk to Justin when we get back. But
hire.
I mean, I have people, but
okay, smart.
But it's the filming of it. You know how long that file is going to take to send?
Right. You're right.
To somebody.
You're right.
I can't just messenger my hard drive over to somebody. They don't live here.
It's time for you to upgrade to the T1. You gotta get.
Good God. All right. So, but let's talk about. They did release. It looks like the first 8 minutes of the show. Did you get to take a look at it?
I did this morning. I did it live, and then YouTube put a strike on it. So I don't have a strike on the channel, but they took it down for now. I submitted my claim, and so hopefully they will release it. But they blocked it for now because apparently you can't do the trailer reactions live if you're going to. I guess if you're going to, have it monetary. So that was my mistake. So in the future, I will just turn off monetization on the video when I do it live. So lesson learned for me is still a young YouTuber, relatively young YouTuber in terms of my experience. Not my age. But yeah, so I really enjoyed the 8 minutes. They were fantastic. Really got you back into the vibe of the show. It was clean. It was clear. It was brilliant. The direction was great. The sound effects, the Foley, the sound of him shaving his face, the sound of the kid throwing his newspapers, all of that hit you perfectly well. And it definitely put you in the vibe of the 1980s. The kid riding down the street on his bike, throwing the rolled up newspapers onto porches in a residential neighborhood. That's my 80s. That's what I know. And so this is very connective for me. But then there's a bunch of horror over the last 2 minutes of those 8 minutes that are incredible. Yes. And what it leads to at the end may make you want to go back and revisit season 1 before you even start this season.
Oh my gosh.
Next week. So just a hint for anybody who hasn't seen the first 8 minutes yet. Once you watch it, you're going to want to go back and revisit season 1 because of what happens between the two characters in these 8 minutes. So just a suggestion for you all, but I love it. And already I was like, when it ended at the perfect time. It was a perfect amount of tease. And you're just like, I want more, so I can't wait to see it whenever we get the screeners for them or when it drops next week, right in the middle of Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, I'm going to get to it after that. There's going to be a lot going on. So we'll have to get to it later. By the time I am done with the Stranger Things stuff, it'll be time for Cobra Kai. I feel like that's how the timeline's going to work.
You're not wrong about that.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, the first 7 episodes are going to start dropping on May 27th. So put that on your calendar, ladies and gentlemen. And then the last 2 episodes will drop on July 1st. So there you go. That's how they're breaking it up, 7 and 2, which is really interesting. The episodes are significantly longer, with most running at 75 minutes, with episode 7 running for 98 minutes. And they confirmed that episode 8 will run for 85 minutes, while the season's finale will be 2.5 hours long. Overall, the season will,
75 minutes.
Yeah, overall the season will be almost 5 hours longer than the previous 3 seasons. So there you go.
I think I have to rethink of my plans of reacting to the show.
You just have to do it live. Just watch it live.
Yeah, I might have to do it on Twitch and then on the VOD, upload the VOD to maybe for the Patreon peeps.
Yeah.
And then add the thingy in there. Maybe.
Draws Walker saying, okay, doing it over 2 holiday weekends is an interesting choice. Yeah, Memorial Day and Independence Day. So yeah. That's on purpose.
Real interesting.
Yeah. So we shall see. We shall see. All right, let's see if I got any more Streamlabs super chats. Pixel Might has resubscribed to Tier 1 for 2 months in a row. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very kind of you. All right, She-Hulk trailer, Wendy. A lot of conversations, a lot of thoughts. Tatiana Maslany coming in. CGI issues for some people. There was in my opinion, there was a great smile to this trailer, a different approach to a hero that we've seen before. Her chemistry with Mark Ruffalo was there, and it was enjoyable. We got a glimpse of Tim Roth as a human. Then we got a glimpse of Tim Roth as Abomination. And we got a general vibe of a woman who is a lawyer who, becomes this She-Hulk and then has to kind of be trained by the Hulk to become a hero, even though she sees heroes as a bunch of spoiled brats and overgrown orphans, as she says in the trailer. But then we see her dating life at the end there and her carrying that dude out, which I've already heard from a number of dudes that they found quite attractive. So very interesting stuff here overall. What did you think of the trailer? What's your feelings about the CGI? Because it's kind of controversial. What do you think?
Well, to start off, I think I've been excited for She-Hulk since they announced it. And then when Tatiana Maslany was actually confirmed, remember she denied it for a second?
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, no, because I don't know if you've seen Orphan Black.
Yes, I love Orphan Black.
She is so good.
Yeah.
She is, the woman plays like how many characters in that show?
I think it's 27.
Oh my gosh.
I think.
Yeah. I want to see her and Oscar Isaac tackle a show together. Just the two of their acting. Oh my God. Just pass out on the floor from the talent.
That is incredible. I didn't even think of that combo, and that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Just make it happen. A movie studio somewhere who's listening. So I am excited for She-Hulk. I am excited to see her as Jennifer Walters. To see we've already got a sneak peek at some of the cameos. You already said it, Tim Roth / the Abomination, obviously Bruce Banner and Smart Hulk / Professor Hulk. And I believe Benedict Wong is confirmed to appear in this as Wong. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of answer as well as to how he came to be fighting with Abomination during that scene in Shang-Chi. But this is, and we've talked about Marvel shows before, how they're all so different. But this is one that is going to lean into a little bit more of the comedic side of things. I think we saw a little bit of it in Hawkeye, but definitely that is the tone here. And we also get 9 episodes, which is great.
Yeah.
For the CGI, some spots were, I think, a little bit noticeable for me where I thought, maybe they could use a little work. It's not really the face. I was trying to figure out exactly what it was. I think it's the hair.
Okay.
It's just one shot that really jumped out at me was when she turned, and because she was turning, usually hair would have movement and a little bit of bounce when you move. But it kind of didn't move in the way that I thought hair would move. So and that's why my eyes really caught it. But other than that, this show doesn't come out until August. There's plenty of things there's plenty of things they're continuing to work on, and other than that, it's fine. I'm just really excited for Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah, I am too. Orphan Black, and in the first season of Perry Mason, she was incredible as well. And there are films out there that show you the depth and the breadth of her work and her abilities. And if you watch Orphan Black, you're certainly tuned into her ability to play drama, comedy, sarcasm, villainous. All of that is there to play. It's an actor's toolbox and dream in the end. So seeing a more relaxed Tatiana in this, a more relatable Tatiana, I think was great, because I remember interviewing her a few years ago at Comic-Con for Nerd HQ, and she was incredibly sweet and very smart and on top of things, and you're just like, yeah, this. You're nothing like the character you play in Orphan. Maybe one of the personalities you play is like who you are in Orphan in real life. And I thought that was great to have that kind of energy, and she was very sweet. So I wish nothing but good things. The other side of this, Wendy, I want to share this real quick. There was a tweet that came out from possibly one of the VFX people on the show, and said, when the character creator doesn't let you make buff women. This is from at Cat Katie Knit, and then Kiwano 3D at Sean Rucroft responded, I was at a company that did VFX for this, which is She-Hulk for this. Apparently she was bigger early on, but the notes kept saying to, quote, make her smaller. We always roll our eyes like we did on Sonic, but at the end of the day, artists got to follow orders. So what's your feeling about this? Do you like that they kind of just only accentuated and gave her some muscles? Or do you feel it was a bit offensive that they didn't make her bigger, make her buffer, because maybe some male executives thought she wouldn't be attractive if she was made to look stronger or bigger or buffer?
Well, I would hate if it was the very last reason. I don't think she would look less attractive to people if she was, but she's She-Hulk.
Yeah, right.
She is tiny in comparison to Hulk.
Oh yeah,
and I know it's different. I get it. Even the shade of green that they are is slightly different.
Yeah,
and I get it. So I do wonder about that decision. It's are they trying to make it so that when she is in her She-Hulk form, and because she's a lawyer and she's in the courtroom, to make her look less. I mean, she stands out because she's big and green, but maybe they're trying to give her a little bit more of that, like it's a normal thing.
Yeah,
that's just a part of her. I don't know. That's really, really interesting.
Yeah, and that VFX artist deleted their account after this thing went viral. So
no,
maybe they weren't supposed to talk.
I hope they didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, you have those late night tweets, and the next day it's like, oh my god. So
hopefully they're not in trouble. I think they were just kind of, saying an opinion, but we'll see.
Nowadays, that's one of the most dangerous things you can do, apparently. So, all right, so we'll see. That's coming out August, right? August 27th. As you said, we got a little bit of or August 17th. Something like
honestly, sorry, I'm just kind of thinking about what she looks like in the comic books. So I'm looking in the comic books. I think the CGI captured her pretty well.
Yeah.
From the comics, unless I'm not looking at the right issues, but I'm like, there's a cover for number 60, the sensational She-Hulk.
Okay.
She's got, I mean, her hair is slightly different, but
you can
overall,
see that picture there. And you can see that picture there, which is the animated version of She-Hulk. She looks,
she's smaller here than she is in the Disney Plus show.
Right. Yeah.
I think she's, okay. And honestly, we didn't get to see that much of She-Hulk in the trailer. I think they're holding a lot of there's one of her, I think that there hasn't been enough shots of She-Hulk as of yet, because
that's a blam. That's that approach, and I totally respect that. So there's a lot of ways you can go. You can make her super buff, like you see here. Like you can totally see. So it's all about artist interpretation. So this idea that somehow she's not seen as a bigger, or she's not seen as a smaller or lighter She-Hulk is a lie. You've seen it in the comics, drawn in many different sizes. So maybe this is just the size that works for what they want to do. Maybe it's
and don't forget they test too.
Right.
There's testing, so we don't know what happens if there were testing. That's probably the one that had the most response.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Great point you bring up, Wendy. Absolutely. So we'll find out. We'll find out in a few months, certainly in August. So, all right, where should we go next, Wendy?
Let's talk about what is coming up next week, which is Star Wars Celebration. I think is it your first one?
It is my first one. Yes.
So the both of us, it's our first time going to Celebration. I am so excited. I'm a little anxious and I'm a little nervous about, covering it and how I'm going to do. I think mostly because of the trailer reactions. I can't really do it. I can't really do it the way I do it at home.
Yeah.
I can't do that. And I won't be able to do that until I get home really late at night. And then I'm worried about the Obi-Wan show and doing reactions to that.
Yeah,
so the first 2 episodes, I think I'm going to have to take the L. on the first two. Maybe on the I think the first one I can suck it up and do.
Okay.
But for the second one, people are gonna have to wait. I don't have the capacity to do it. And I mean, it's not just the editing part; it's the filming of it too.
Yeah.
Because that's how long do we think these episodes are?
Oh, I
40
think,
plus.
Yeah, probably at least 40 plus. Yeah.
If I don't sleep, I'm gonna get sick, and I'm not getting sick.
Do you think we're not getting them before Celebration?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. I think the point is they're debuting it at Celebration. I think that's the whole point, because you're celebrating Star Wars and all the fans get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Because they could,
right,
for review purposes, and not that the show needs more hype, but to build hype.
Yeah.
And to, maybe introduce new Star Wars fans to the upcoming series.
Yeah.
But they also might not. Well, I guess they could give it to press to review, and just the embargo doesn't drop until the fans are ready to see it there. So everybody can avoid spoilers. I'm just really thinking about the space of spoilers, and most journalists knows how to write to not reveal certain things, but there's always sometimes that like one or two article that you read, they're like, oh no, it's the whole episode. So yeah,
I got accused of that the other day, because I usually read other people's reviews on like New York Times and Vulture, whatever, just to make sure, like, okay, what can I not talk about? What can I talk about? Because if it's in a print review, then in my mind, that's a non-spoiler review. So whenever I see them mention stuff, I go, okay, that I can mention, that I can mention, that I can mention. I don't steal their ideas. I more look at seeing what they what they do mention, because I imagine it gets approved by an editor or what have you. But I've had people who've responded in the comments, especially in the Top Gun Maverick one. 3 or 4 people were like, "That's not in the trailer," and I was like, "Yeah, but that's not the surprise. It's just a general plot point."
Right.
People really, sometimes I'm like, "Why are you watching a review if you're afraid to have anything spoiled for it?" I don't watch shit if I'm afraid to have something spoiled for me.
Same.
I don't read or watch anything until the film or TV show comes out. Yeah, it's I don't know. You take your chances. You take your chances in that kind of scenario.
I guess they just wanted to see if you thought overall it was good or.
Yeah. Well, if I'm doing this on the cover, on the thumbnail, then it was good. Okay.
Or it'd be like.
Yeah, I've done a couple of those where I'm like. Yeah, I've done a couple of those faces, so you know for sure. Yeah, are we gonna get COVID? Are we gonna get the COVID chlorine?
You stop that right now. I'm gonna double mask, and I'm gonna sanitize it up, and I'm gonna overhaul on my vitamin C's and D's and zinc.
Yeah, I survived CinemaCon without anything, so I'm hoping I can survive. I'm definitely gonna wear my mask everywhere.
I think it's required. I think this one, I think, don't quote me on it. I think, look, I'm going to require it for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And the reason I'm choosing to double mask is I don't really, about as far as like the efficacy of it, but it makes me feel better.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
it'll make me feel better. And don't touch your eyes.
Yeah.
Don't touch doorknobs and then go rub your eyes. Don't do that. No.
That's why I got my 4th shot. I want to be as hazmated suit as possible inside my body. Inside my body. So. Yeah.
Thorough Unfiction says it is required.
Oh, it is required. Okay, good.
Well, huzzah.
Even better.
There you go.
Even better. Yeah. But the people are going to be eating in those auditoriums and whatever, so we'll see what happens. But let's talk about the positives. What are you looking forward to here, Wendy? What are you looking forward to?
So much.
For this.
I mean, it's our first, Star Wars celebration. I think it's going to be a blast. Every single person that I've talked to who have attended Star Wars celebrations had nothing but good things to say. They praise it. They put it on a pedestal. So my expectations are real high when it comes to Star Wars celebration. I do expect there to be obviously a lot of people. I expect to be standing in some lines. That's kind of, comes hand in hand with going to a con. But I think it's just a really good time to be a Star Wars fan, whether you're old, new, or casual. I think this is going to be great. I am looking forward to some of the panels. There is the one that kind of kicks off the whole event. I think it's called the Lucasfilm Studios Showcase.
Yes.
And Star Wars, like, I think one year when it was in Orlando, everybody went and Dennis and I streamed live one of the panels. I think they were going to show the Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. There was the Rise of Skywalker trailer, so we streamed it live from the Collider studio.
Yeah.
And just the sheer amount of joy on people's faces during that panel, that's what I want to experience in person. So I'm excited to hopefully get into some of these panels, see a lot of my friends that are coming from the East Coast as well. So there'll be some reunion, seeing people's outfits. And then of course, like, they're going to announce not just movies and shows, because that obviously we're looking forward to the announcements, but also plans for future merchandise, park upgrades, experiences. Are they going to add anything to the Galactic Star Cruiser or to Galaxy's Edge? All of that I'm looking forward to. So just excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. And, Star Wars Explained, Molly and Alex have a show that they're going to be doing. I think Scrimshaw and Knapsack are going to be part of that. So that's going to be
podcast stage.
Yeah, podcast stage. I hope I can make it for that one. But yeah, I mean, there's the Bad Batch, which is on Sunday. But if you want to skip that, you can come hang out with me and Hector Navarro and Ace and Danny Fernandez and a few other folks who are going to be talking about the importance of Latinx representation in Star Wars. It's my first panel ever on any con.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm very excited to be a part of that and having some fun. And Ace was very kind and gracious to ask me to be a part of it. So I'm looking forward to just hanging out. I mean, maybe I'll say 10 words because I'm just going to be so in awe of the people who are on the dais with me. I'm just going to want to listen to them, be a kind of fan after the time as well. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be the celebration of the, Attack of the Clones, the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. There's music. The composer of the score is going to be there to talk about the music for it. They're going to celebrate it. Ewan and Hayden, they're going to show up somewhere a big presentation with Moses Ingram as well for Kenobi. They've been doing the tours. There might be other surprises. Ian McDermott is doing his Sith stuff on Thursday as well. Then you have Anthony Daniels, who loves a stage. He's commanding stuff. But yeah, I'm with you, Wendy. To me, if I can get into the panels, great. And I think with press, we get a section and we get in. We'll see. And that'll be great to cover it. But for me, it's going to be about walking the floor and seeing the incredible artwork, seeing the fan love and dedication of this franchise, seeing the costumes. Like I might be ordering something over the weekend that I can bring with me to kind of shoot at the same time as I'm kind of interviewing people and do a little thing. Because I want to talk to people about their costumes and about their,
of course,
create the stuff. And I'm really fascinated by it because I have no inclination to do that, but I'm fascinated by people who do that because it's a lot of time and effort, And I want to see what they've created. And I don't know about you, but I've already been invited to a couple of booths to come show up and have their presentations and see what that's all about. So a very exciting time. Just want to take it slow. Don't want to get overwhelmed and be okay with missing some things because I'm going to be enjoying the things I do get to cover and get into. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And like you said, seeing people I haven't seen in a long time because of COVID or other reasons for sure.
Yeah, I'll get to see you hopefully, maybe in person. No, we have to because we said Thursday night we were going to try to do a meetup. We are with a bunch of people. Yeah, I'm going to try. Yeah. So make it happen. I can't put you on the flyer if it's a try. I need a confirmation. Otherwise, your face can't go on
if it's going to be a flyer, then I'll be there. Fine, put it on the schedule.
It's going to be. That's why we chose Thursday because it's going to be the lightest day of all, and we're going to make it early so we can do our thing and then go home and watch Kenobi and cry over editing.
Is there a Disneyland thing that's happening as well? What is that all about? My friend Griffin Schiller reached out to me. Who's going to be there? He said there's some Disneyland event that's happening.
There is Star Wars night happening. It's a ticketed event.
Okay.
I think it's on this Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
2022. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just the 27th. I thought it was another night.
Gotcha.
But there's also like Dustin and I, for example, we have reservations to go into the park on the 26th.
Oh, nice.
On that Thursday, so we're gonna go in for a little bit just because we're there, and I think it'll be cool to gather in Galaxy's Edge and see all the people with the lightsaber and the costumes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I've got to make it out to Galaxy's Edge at some point, for God's sakes.
Get a ticket and go Thursday.
Maybe it's not a bad idea. Maybe it's not a bad idea.
If you get tired of the floor, you just it's not really that long of a walk from the convention center to Disneyland. It's not that far. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get a hotel room first, but we'll see. We'll see how that happens.
Oh.
You know me.
Where I
haven't got a hotel room yet, so I've got to get one.
So what were your plans? To drive back and forth?
Possibly, yeah, because it's an hour and a half drive both ways.
Maybe you want to crash with me?
Well, no, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Let me know if you can. I got a lovely blow up mattress for you. If you can't.
Is it I'm sure I only sleep on queens.
Probably.
Okay.
It's big enough. Dustin and I fit on it, so.
That's right. Well, shout out to you. By the way, shout out to Dustin. You guys don't know this, but we did a D&D. First time ever I've done D&D. Oh, maybe not the first time. I think I did it when I was 14 or 15 in high school with some cousins. I had a great time with Wendy and with Dustin and with the Late to the Party folks having some fun D&D night last Saturday. I was kind of trepidatious. I wasn't sure if it was going to be my thing. And then as we got into it, it was a lot of fun. I think Dustin did a great job as Dungeon Master, and hanging out with Wendy and the Late to the Party people with Vanessa and Robert. They knew what they were doing. So it was nice to just kind of flow with their flow and have a blast. So just wanted to throw that out there before
a lot of yes and going on in that. That's and honestly, if for any improv actors out there, you basically just yes and unless you want to be chaotic, which could be also fun. But I was really impressed because when Rocha got into it, he got into it, and we're on the verge of battle, and I was thinking about how am I approaching this within the character, and you said what you said, and I was like, thank God somebody in this party has a plan, because I didn't have one, so it was perfect.
Yeah, I saw the void, and I was like, well, I'm going to fill it. Let's do this, and this. And it was great to have that and have a blast. So looking forward to doing it again.
Yeah, part 2. Sure. It's going to get, we're going to get into it. We wrote for initiative. So next time it's just, killing some NPCs. Sorry, NPCs.
Shout out to Mr. _Tiny Corn Dog who subscribed, or who followed rather, and the Bridge Unleashed who followed as well, and Wiley OFC just resubscribed for 4 months, saying,
wow.
Rocha. Thank you, Wiley. Very kind of you, brother.
Excellent.
Wendy, it's time to move on to our next section of the show. Let's do it right now. Yeah. I asked Tushka to make it longer, and he did. He made it 10 seconds. So thank you so much, Tushka. All right.
I love it.
Wendy Lee, what is trending? I think it's all about you.
Oh my gosh. Well, do you want to talk about, okay, we'll do K-pop first, and then we'll talk about the Taco Bell Mexican pizza.
Okay, sounds good.
Because we have to, I have to hear your thoughts on it. Yeah. You guys, I went to my first K-pop concert. You guys hear me and Rocha talk about K-pop all the time. I send him 50 million videos a week. Watch 50 million of them, and let's talk about all of them. I got to see Twice for their 4th world tour, and this is the encore. And my friend Warren over at Cosmic Wonder had an extra ticket.
Wow.
And so he's like, hey, you want to come? I'm like, I mean, I'm free. And he's like, let's go. It's floor seats. And I'm like, what the heck? So it was probably the best K-pop experience I'm ever going to have. I know I'm seeing Stray Kids next month, but it's not floor seats. So I told him, I was like, you've raised the bar too high. I cannot, this is the cap right here. I'm not going to get another experience like this one, but I'm happy that I got to share it with him. That's his ultimate favorite group. And I didn't even really consider myself a once, which is what the Twice fandom is called,
right?
Until after this concert, because I knew their songs. I know some of the dances to them, but I don't know as much as I know Blackpink and BTS,
right? And
Stray Kids. But we got to see Twice, so that's Warren and I stood in line for 2 hours to take that photo. They didn't have staff.
No. Hours.
It's because it wasn't facilitated. They didn't have somebody up there policing okay, 4 pictures and you're done. People are sitting up there doing full dance covers, and I'm like, my Virgo was jumping out to be like, okay guys, let's move on. What pose are we doing? Here we go. Let's plan it. You had 2 hours in line. Are you not planning your poses? I told Warren, I was like, I want 3 pictures. 2 of me doing this. And that's just the entrance, but we were on the floor.
Okay.
So that was insane. If you do the next slide, I think it shows we walked to the wrong side of the stage. We were supposed
initially.
To
you walked
initially because we were confused. We're like, what section is it? But I think maybe the next slide. Well, yeah, that was our seat exactly.
Okay. Wow.
Is that insane?
That's great visual. You can see everything. That is fantastic.
So close.
And they spaced it out, which I think is really great as well, to give you guys enough room there to kind of dance around on the floor.
So what's kind of crazy is the night before, there's me and Warren jamming to the song. It was probably The Feels.
What does Twice have? What is that the one you brought on the show last week?
No, those are the Stray Kids ones. What they have, they kind of looks like a giant lollipop.
Yeah.
It's really cool, but they didn't have any available, so I couldn't buy one.
Gotcha.
But they're big. They're bigger than the Army Bomb. They're bigger than the Stray Kids Light Stick and the Blackpink, and that's how close the girls are. That's not like a screenshot of the big Mumbletron. Like that's when they come out to the second part of the stage. That's how close they are.
Wow.
To us, like I could see their eyelashes.
I don't want to get in trouble if I show too much footage here. I don't know if
no, I don't think so because that's social media. And that's confetti all over. So naturally, I picked some off the floor and I brought it home. Twice confetti. They're heart shaped.
Look at that. See, that looks like turning red. That looks like
turning. It was turning red, and it's open air. So it's at the Bank of California Stadium.
Wow.
So it's a soccer stadium.
Right, yeah.
And they converted it to
LAFC place. Yeah.
And I felt like, and the red moon was out that night because it was the eclipse.
Yeah.
It was the blood moon. It was literally lined up for everything to be exactly like turning red.
Could you keep looking around for
Where's the panda?
There, a panda, the red panda. That is hilarious.
It was amazing. Fellow audience, in the chat, Zach Mendoza says Twice. I went to both days; they were amazing. Yes, he was also there actually because
that's awesome.
He messaged me on Instagram. He's like, "I'm here too," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then the follow up comment is, "Light Stick is the candy bong. Bong is like the they call it like the army, like the bong."
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, and we have a cheers as well.
Oh yeah, a cheer here.
Not K-pop related, but we'll get to it.
No, it says, like, if you saw there is a trailer for a prequel of Texas Walker set in 1800 on CW there. No, I have not seen it.
What?
So I will take a look at that one. Texas like Walker Ranger? Like Texas Walker Ranger?
Like Chuck Norris?
Is that I got my son, Texas Ranger and Walker. My son's, was it Texas Walker Ranger?
That's interesting.
That's cool. All right. Thank you, Farrell. Appreciate the cheer,
Thank you for the cheer.
Good heads up.
Yeah.
What would you say was your like overall? You were saying something. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Something about the night before. What was the night before? What were you?
Oh my gosh! So the night before, typically, so Warren had because he went both nights as well, and he had a seat that's kind of the closest to the runway area.
Yeah.
So essentially, when the members would come down the runway, naturally everybody who wanted to push forward and they got excited, and so the first night they were kind of right up against they could be right up against the barricade, no problem.
Right.
The second night, I think the security saw that as a hazard and they didn't like it. So they enforced the rule. And that's why everybody was so orderly and sitting down because there were so much more security.
Right.
And they're like, make everybody stay in their area. They're not blocking the roadway. So what you saw was open, stayed open. Because they were not allowing people to stand in the walkway. Maybe for when we got excited, they let us have it for a little bit, but very quickly they'd be like, you need to go back to standing in front of your chair. You don't have to sit down, but you have to stand at your seat that you paid for.
Right. Wow.
So they kept it really orderly. And I think that's safer for everybody else who's coming because you hear about these concerts, people getting squished and they pass out and it's unhealthy, and hopefully to provide more security for the members as well. But overall, it was such a good time. I'm really appreciative of Oren taking me to my first K-pop concert, and we're going to literally another one next month. So we're K-pop besties now. It's great.
Well, that's great. It's good to find someone you can share it with.
I got more confetti. I picked up.
Oh my God! Look at that!
Just one lone one that shoot out of the cannon. It scared me at first. I was like, oh God. And then I was like, catch it.
You're jumping on Warren's shoulders.
Yeah, for real. Elbow people. I want to get my confetti. No, people, I only took this much confetti.
Oh, okay.
That's
all
I
took.
People were
probably taking a crap ton.
I mean, if they had a tote bag, it was filled with confetti.
Wow.
And I was like, what are you going to do with it? I have a little cute jar that I'm going to save it. But some people I heard were selling it on not Twice for BTS with the permission to dance, $30 for a jar of confetti. And she kind of the creator kind of justified it's $30 because I'm putting the sticker, she makes it at home, the quick cut for the material and the jar. And I was like, but $30,
wow. I
don't know. I mean, if people are buying them and you want to be an entrepreneur, fantastic for you.
Yeah.
Fantastic for you.
That's great. Jesus, what a great time.
I mean, I wouldn't pay $30 for confetti, but
no, I wouldn't.
If you do, more power to you.
Yeah, I agree. More power to you. But yeah, no, it's not my jam. Okay, so anything more on the world of K-pop, Wendy, or shall we move on to our next part of what's trending?
I think that is it. Stray Kids got a mini album coming out. The Japanese mini album. I think it's called Circus. I have to research because I haven't found anything like track teases or anything like that as of yet. But they've been doing a lot of photo teases.
Okay.
So I've been looking at that. Twice the members have all opened individual Instagram accounts, which some people are a little worried because their contract with JYP is up. I think either this year or next year. So people are worried that what if they disband? And that's why they have their individual accounts. And I was like, well, BTS also opened their own individual accounts recently, and they're going strong with a comeback in June. So I don't think anybody has anything to worry about. But I understand the fans' fear because that's their favorite group, and you want to, continue to see them. So hopefully it's not the last time.
Yeah. As Zach says, also NMIX is in LA this weekend. I got a fan meet ticket. So there you go.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
Zach's on point on this stuff.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll keep tabs on that. When is your experience grows and grows on the side of K-pop? Where shall we go to next?
Mexican pizza time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I couldn't believe it when it was coming back.
Pizza is back at Taco Bell right now. You can get a combo for $8.99, at least where I live. 2 soft taco supremes and the Mexican pizza with a drink. My Diet Pepsi, which I'm drinking right now. So pretty cool stuff. And this has been a big deal because a lot of people were mad when the Mexican pizza got taken away. I imagine it's the McRib now, Wendy, the Mexican pizza for Taco Bell. And I was reading this article from thestreet.com that has kind of collated some of these Twitter responses to this, that because there have been some changes to the overall look and the feel and the taste of the Mexican pizza. And some people have responded with tweets. I'm going to read some of them here because the problem seems to be with the shell of the Mexican pizza. And as I was telling Wendy off camera before we started, I recorded a video of myself trying this out. So I'm going to put it up on YouTube at some point, or maybe just put it up on Twitch or something and see what the deal is. But I am going to share this real quick, and we'll read some of these responses from Twitter. At Austin431 says, what's everyone think about the new Mexican pizza? It's not the same as the old one. The shell is not as good as the old one. Jesus Christ, guys, really learn how to disappointed. Probably won't order.
He was angry, so he was just like,
bring back the more crunchy shell, less greasy one they have now. All right. Logan Roberts says, new Taco Bell Mexican pizza. Okay, not great. They replaced the former fried shell with one that's more like a hard taco shell. Old shell shattered in your teeth, and there was a lot of flavor there. It appears they tried to make up for this with salt, since the one I ate was a salt lick. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's a bad Taco Bell.
That's a bad one.
You went, listen, I'm going to show you. I'm only halfway done mine. I'm going to finish it. Even cold, that is what you want. That's a lot of cheese.
Wait, put it up a little higher if you can. Yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah, that's solid.
That's how you do a Mexican pizza. So I don't know where you're at, State of John. Do not go back to that.
This was mine.
Ever again. What, you got yours?
Yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see, mine was pretty full to the brim, too.
Yeah. Wait, let me stop this. Go ahead. Show me again. Oh, yeah, that was stacked.
Yeah.
But look, the shell is darker, isn't it? Because I remember the Mexican pizza had a lighter shell the last time.
I think that was the case, too. But it's been so many years since I've had it.
Yeah.
Since I've had it. So, let's keep going with these tweets. Okay. I'm very invested.
Let me bring it up again. Where we left off is this terrible, janky Taco Bell. Yeah, you should not go to that Taco Bell, Josh. Basil Kuo says, Taco Bell brought back the Mexican pizza, and it's not as good as the original. The shell has a weird aftertaste. And Mexican Pizza Party 519 says, I'm waiting for my husband to get home with our Taco Bell order. Why am I legit nervous? Samurai Style TV, great handle, said, my wife and I just got back from Taco Bell. It was incredible to see the triumphant return of the Mexican pizza. Question for you, though, was your tortilla less crispy than how it came prior? Ours was definitely less crispy. Not sure if it's changed or just a local issue. And Dude's Nerdery saying, what's wrong with the Mexican pizza? Please tell me they didn't ruin it. VHS Man saying it was awful. The shell tasted gross and the whole thing was a mess. I don't have a nostalgic love of the Mexican pizza, and this is the worst possible way to get beef and cheese from Taco Bell. It was also $5.19. Awful value. Now, I waited how many years for the return of Taco Bell pizza, says Twitch for Jordan? Look at my hot mess. Well,
oh no.
That is terrible. So I'm not going to say you're wrong. That's terrible. But I got to tell you, I liked my Mexican pizza.
I liked mine too.
Right? I liked the flavor. I liked the it was a little more spicier than I remember it being. I like the new shell. It has a little bit of a greasy feel to it. Certainly not as crispy as the shell before. And as Wendy pointed out, what do you think? It was a little bit. It's not as lighter. Is that what you were saying before we started the show?
Yeah, when I bit into mine, it didn't feel, it was still crispy, but it wasn't as thick as I remembered. It was a little bit lighter, but I personally didn't mind it. It wasn't super greasy for me, and they loaded it, like, as you saw, on the top, and then I also put more sauce on it too, because I like to apparently drown my Taco Bell in their sauce. I never realized that until I was eating yesterday, and I was like, there's a lot of sauce on this thing. So I guess some of the complaints, but let's not forget they brought it back during COVID. Yes, I know the mask mandate has been lifted and people aren't wearing it anymore, but that doesn't mean it has completely gone away. Apparently, there is also other Omicron variant.
Oh,
so yes, there's that. And the reason why I brought up COVID is because it has interrupted the supply chain. So the qualities and plus, like, you know, all that stuff that's happening in Ukraine right now. I think there's like a wheat shortage as well as a baby formula shortage. So, like, guys, we're complaining about Mexican pizza quality shell, like the shell quality. This is very much a first world problem. The fact that they brought it back, I'm very happy about that. I'm sorry to the people who the presentation of the pizza was like half lopsided. Like, that's kind of awful. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you can get to a different Taco Bell and have a better, you know, eating experience. But I think maybe that is the reason why the shell may be different. It's because potentially supply chain, and they had to change up one of the ingredients for it.
That makes sense. And just to be fair, to this article, there are people who did enjoy their experience. So let's take a look at theirs real quick. There's Blondie saying, and just like the Mexican pizza snack, I've been avoiding fast food lately, but couldn't avoid my fave Taco Bell. That looks fantastic.
That looks like the one that they make for the commercial.
Right? That is incredibly well done.
Wow.
And then here we have Among the Wallflowers, Deaf Libertarian says, haters gonna hate. Behold my beloved long at last Taco Bell's Mexican pizza. That one doesn't even look as good as the one below does down here. Yeah,
that is like quality.
Yeah, right.
That's what we all want.
Yeah, exactly. So just to make it clear, you will get, it depends on where you go, and don't ever have a problem opening the thing up before you leave.
Yes.
If it's not done to your liking, you can return it. And then most people understand that.
Yes.
Because your Taco Bell can be very fast sometimes, or they can be in a rush and they don't pay as much attention. So you want to make them pay attention.
And I'll say this, our Taco Bell that we normally go to, they are the ones that, like, they're lovely people.
Yes.
They're really lovely people. But you definitely have to do your own, you know, diligence to check if your order is correct. Is like 9 out of 10 times that we've gone in the last year.
Yeah.
Year and a half, like they've given us somebody else's order. And I'm like, oh, I didn't remember. Or I mean, I'll eat it if we've like left and gone home. I'm like, whatever, it's Taco Bell, I'll eat it. But you want your order, so like always check. And also, you said you got the combo for $8.99.
$8.99, yeah.
$9.99 here.
What? It's $1 more in LA? Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Gas is only $4 down.
No.
Yo. Costco gas.
$5.60 something. I just filled up this morning. I didn't fill up. I put $30 in. Somebody clip that, please.
I filled up. I gotta be honest, I didn't fill up. I just put $30. That's a fill up for me right now.
No, it doesn't fill up. I remember it used to. And it doesn't do it anymore. And it makes me really sad.
I know. Same here. I used to fill up for $25, $30 tops for my 12-gallon Prius. Now it's in the 40s or 50s. So it's not as, but it is. The game is the game. You know, it is what it is for right now, and it'll get better real soon. You know, it's temporary, as all of these things are.
I've never wanted a Prius more than I do right this moment.
Fair enough. All right, Wendy. I think that's it for trending. So go get your Mexican pizza and let us know what you thought about it in the comments.
Tag us.
And tag us on Twitter or whatever, definitely, or report back next week. Oh, well, actually, we'll probably have to take next week off because of Star Wars Celebration, but the week after, and let us know what you thought. All right, let's jump into our coming soon. And what we recommend here is we wrap up the show. Wendy, what is coming soon, or what do you recommend? What do you got?
I got two things for recommendation. One of them is already available to watch on Disney Plus, and that is Chippendale Rescue Rangers. That is back in movie form. We've got John Mulaney and Andy Samberg in the lead roles for Chippendale. Nice. Kiki Lane is in this one. J.K. Simmons is voicing this one, on top of 50 million other voice talents. But you guys, if you saw the trailer for this, you are not prepared for how much more your eyeballs is going to see in this movie. This is one of those you have to go back and rewatch because you blink and you miss something.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's one of the funniest movies I've seen all year. I had no idea. Like I was expecting it to be good and fun, but I was like, I laughed beginning to end. I'm like, wow, really? This is how was this movie even possibly made? Wow. Like, who did Disney talk to get this movie made?
Is it Spider-Verse level in terms of?
It's a Ready Player One, but they got Ready Player One and got nothing. Sorry, WB, they got nothing on this movie.
Wow,
it's incredible.
More excited. Okay,
it's incredible. Yeah.
Go watch it. Michael Volga texted me this afternoon and said, "You need to watch Chippendale Rescue Rangers
ASAP."
I had the screener for about a week and just couldn't get to it, and now I'm going to watch it. I guess now because it seems like a lot of positive reactions too. Yeah, on Disney Plus. And even Theral sent us a.
You're gonna do a spit take like 8 minutes in. I think it's around the 8 or 9 minute mark. Like I'm glad I was not drinking soda because I think I would have done a spit take.
On the new.
I cannot believe some of the things. Don't look at more reviews. Just watch it. You're gonna ruin it for yourself because people are putting spoilers. Already.
Oh, are they really? Oh,
yeah,
of course. Theral_unfiction that has sent us a chair to coincide with what you're talking about when he says Chippendale's worth checking it out. Fun. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you, Theral.
Yes, thank you, Theral.
Yeah. Yes. All right. And what else have we got?
Bob's Burger next week.
Oh yeah, you went to the premiere, right?
I went to the premiere. It was a lot of fun. It was a very colorful carpet. I have only seen very few episodes of Bob's Burger. I've liked all of them. Okay. But I wasn't like super invested, in the show or in the family. But I knew that a lot of my friends love the show. So I sat down and watched this. I watched the trailer a few times, and then I watched a couple of other episodes, kind of the more recent ones. And I was like, I don't think what they show in this movie is going to affect newer fans.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. So don't feel like you're going to be alienated. Okay. If you haven't seen a single episode of Bob's Burger. You just stick with it and you're going to have a good time. There's songs in it. It's hilarious. Okay. Cool. It's so funny. And it was a nice, Dustin couldn't go because he was at the dentist. So I took my friend James, who is a huge Bob's Burger fan, and he was like next to me yucking it up the whole time. Well, so cool. As a longtime fan, he really enjoyed it. And they served burgers on the red carpet. They had a little like Impossible sliders.
Okay.
Delicious. And then I ran into the rejects, John and Greg.
Correct, John and Greg.
So I saw Greg and I was like, oh, hey. And he was a little worried because he's actually allergic to Impossible Burgers.
This was a very interesting thread to follow on social media.
Yeah, you saw it, right?
Yes. Poor Greg Alba. Please, Wendy, tell the story.
I go up to Greg and I was like, hey, how are you? Good to see you guys. Like, because I think I saw them in the parking structure, like walking up. I was like, oh, I think that's them. But you never know these days with masks on. It's kind of like I've said hi to people and they're like, I don't know you. I'm like, sorry, but hey.
Hi, Tom.
Hey. I thought you were so and so. You look just like them with the mask on, but with the mask off, not so much. So I saw Greg and he's like, so I am, and I was literally finishing my Impossible Burger as he walked up to me.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, did you know I was allergic to those? I was like, oh no. So he was just probably working all day and didn't have enough time to eat. So he knew that he was allergic to it. And he was like, well, I'll just eat the bread part of it. And he took off. I don't think he ate the whole top bun. I think he took off like a piece of it and ate it. And apparently that maybe got some of just maybe touched it.
Yeah.
But Greg doesn't come across as the person to like make things about himself. I truly believed he was slightly concerned.
Yeah.
About, and also allergic reactions can go like 0 to 100.
Yep.
Like that's not something you do. Like it's 1 minute could be like, oh, I'm a little itchy. The next minute you're like, your throat's closed and you're on the floor. That literally happened to my friend's wife. She says she felt, not with the Impossible Burgers, but she says she felt a little itchy. He convinced her to go to the hospital. Wow. So she begrudgingly went, and because it was COVID, he couldn't go in with her. The second she got past those doors, she collapsed.
Wow.
So I was thinking about that story, and I was like, hey, man, like, are you sure you're okay? He's like, I think if I just drink a lot of water, I'm okay. And I'm like, all right, but we got like a 2-hour, I don't know how your body can all of a sudden just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I went and asked for, like, once I walked inside the LCAP, and I asked one of not the ticket taker, but the people who are kind of welcoming you into the theater. And I was like, hey, so my friend's having like a slight reaction to some of the food that was served here. Do you have, and I know usually facilities will have Benadryl, not for guests, but for
employees, right?
The employees, like Tylenol and things. I was like, can I just get like 1 or 2 Benadryl? And I was like, if we can't, I will happily go run across at Walgreens right across the way and get some for him. But if they had it, I'd love to have it. So they actually had it, and by the time the guy brought it up, I see Greg walking past me with 2 ladies with vests, like these like reflector vests on. Yeah. And they are actually I didn't know they had this on the red carpet, but it totally makes sense for safety. Disney on-site nurses.
Oh, wow.
Who took care of him. Right? Because you don't know what could happen.
Yeah, of course.
Anything could happen.
Disney would totally, that makes so much sense that Disney would have nurses. It just makes all the sense in the world. Kids could, anything with kids or anything like that, you just want to have people on standby.
Or somebody, trip and fall because everybody's, in dresses, high heels.
Sure.
And you want to, need to tape up an ankle or something like that. They have it available. So, luckily the nurses saw him. So the guy was like, do you still need the Benadryl? And I was like, I think he's okay. Yeah. So, but the nurses took care of him. I think they checked him over, and I think they did give him some Benadryl, and he was okay. I have talked to Greg today, so I can confirm he is definitely okay.
Greg is still alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Still alive.
Okay. See, Thorough Unfiction said Makuga got nut poison. Like, that's what I'm saying. Josh Makuga is definitely, like, not even exaggerating. He's really allergic to nuts.
Right.
And he was at a thing at Comic-Con. He ate a taco that had nuts in. I don't know what kind of tacos. People put nuts in tacos. That shouldn't be a thing. But nonetheless, he immediately was like itchy, and he felt weird, and they had to go and get him Benadryl. And he was home the next day. He was like slightly puffy.
He was.
Yeah.
And then he repaid everybody by trying to kill Jeremy and Mark Ellis with hot sauce. Yeah, that's right. Everybody remembers that story. I actually ran into Jeremy at CinemaCon.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, it was great to see. I hadn't seen Jeremy forever.
I missed that guy.
He came up right behind me and Jeff, and I turned to my left, and I was like, holy shit. He goes, I thought that was you, Rocha. And I was like, oh my God, dude, how are you? I love
Jeremy.
We had a great conversation. His hair is so long now. He is so still Jeremy Johns. He hung out with us for about 20 minutes and then rolled on to his next event. He was gambling. He was invited to a special private gambling room and stuff. So I was like, go do your thing, brother, man. You're a superstar, And so it was nice of him to hang out and talk, and it was great catching up. But he brought that up. He brought the hot sauce.
That was not a great day for either one of them.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No,
I was concerned. I've never seen Ellis upset until that day. I've never seen Mark Ellis upset.
Oh no, Jeremy still said I should have killed him. I should have killed McCool. And that was just hilarious.
Jeremy,
and he's one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet, Jeremy. So
yeah. These guys don't get mad over anything.
No, it's true. But getting hot sauce, I think.
Oh my gosh, never again.
I wish they had the unedited video. I wish there was the.
No, they should. No, nobody should see those guys like
that. 500 million views overnight.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to relive it. I'm sure they don't want to relive it. It was scary.
A stressful day. Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. Like, they suffered.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah, because I was at a midday screening for something, and I rolled up, and I only saw the after effects, which was Ellis in the toilet and Jeremy Johns.
I think I tried to get them ice cream.
Yeah, you tried to get them ice cream, right? And the
to help. I don't know if it helped. Yeah, we literally did. There was milk. We tried this. We tried that. We tried. It was.
The fans were on.
The fans were on.
It was rough.
And Jeremy flew home that day.
Yes.
Jeremy. He was on a flight, and I was like, are you going to be okay? I kept on having to text him.
Yeah. It was a hell of a day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
wow.
As far as the reviews recommendations on my end, Made for Love Season 2, they just dropped all the episodes. Watch that on HBO Max. Season 2 is even better than Season 1, and Kristen Milioti really coming into her own powerfully in the show. There's some beautiful moments with her and Ray Romano. You've got to see this show. And there's some great twists and turns with all the characters involved in this. So I cannot recommend it enough. I tweeted about it, how to me, it's the best show set in the future that's based in technology. Now, I haven't seen Severance, and I've got to see that. But for me right now, Made for Love is the best thing going out there, and you guys got to take a look at it. Don't forget Barry is out there. As I said, I've seen the first 6 episodes, greatest series of Barry I've ever seen. Hacks season 2 is out there. Watch that. And I'm going to throw another one for you guys. Bosch Legacy. If you are a Bosch fan and you thought things ended with season 7, you're wrong. Titus Welliver came back. They're on Freevee, which is an offshoot of Amazon Prime connected to IMDb TV. It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch the first couple episodes for free with ads. It is even better than the last 2 seasons. And I am shocked. I thought this is a long in the tooth type of show. This is essentially an 8th season of the show. It is fantastic. The writing, the acting, the directing, the storylines have never been better. So I recommend that highly. And what's out this week? I didn't see Men, so I can't tell you to go see that. And I did not. And what else?
Did you see Downton Abbey?
Oh, yeah.
Coming out next week. Did you like it?
I loved Downton Abbey. Yes. It is so good. It is out this week. And I wrote my spoiler review today. It'll be out tomorrow. You guys got to see this. If you're a Downton Abbey fan, even if you're not a Downton Abbey fan and you like kind of British stuff, go and see this because it'll absolutely take your mind off the world for a couple of hours and you'll disappear. How can I say this? Disappear viscerally into the world of Downton Abbey and just kind of forget your troubles for a couple of hours. It's so well acted, so well written, and so
Maggie Smith is amazing.
Yeah, and Maggie the Dowager.
He's so good.
He's so good.
Oh man.
Just those are my suggestions for you all to watch and enjoy this weekend. So there you go. All right, Wendy, let's wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for joining us here on this episode of the John and Wendy Show. We love you all madly. Thanks for the Streamlabs. Thanks for the cheers. Thanks for everything and the bits and everything you sent us. And thanks to the people who resubscribed to the Outlaw Nation. We appreciate it. Wendy, I appreciate you. Where can I appreciate you?
You can find me at Star Wars Celebration next week, all 4 days. You can find me on, me and Rocha are both going to be there. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, at my name, Wendy Lee Zaney. TikTok is just Wendy Zaney. And of course, the Movie Couple channel on YouTube.
Yes, yes, I will be at Star Wars Celebration, so we will definitely see each other. And you guys, if you're going to be there, especially our friend Brennan, we're going to try to meet up and see him, which will be nice. As for me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Outlaw Nation on Twitch, as you're watching now. For those who are watching later on YouTube, and on YouTube, if you're watching now, youtube.com/John Rocha Says. Go and subscribe to that and hit that bell button so you see we're dropping all the content we do. And if you're on YouTube, leave a comment and a like down below and share it on your social media. We want to bring as many people as possible to the John and Wendy Show. So hashtag the John and Wendy Show when you share it. And I will retweet you if you tag Wendy or I on it. I will retweet it. So there you go. All right. Thank you all so much. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show. Peace.
Bye.